This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon or good evening. So I was just waiting for others to join. I don't know why other people are not yet joined. Anyway, let's see our today's session. So in yesterday's class, we have done with networking theoretical concepts and a little bit of practicals we have done with. Now today, let us try to talk about how to assign IP address or change IP address and other things in networking in Red Hat environment. See, from Red Hat 7, there have been a new concept that have been introduced, which is called as connections. So let me explain you that what exactly this connection is. Let us say that I'm having an adapter ENP0S3. That is the name of my adapter. Now for this adapter, let us say that the IP address, the profile what is created or the configuration file what is created is ifcfg enp0s3. Yesterday I showed you that for every adapter there is a configuration file created in etc sysconfig network scripts, isn't it? We saw that. So let us say inside it there is a profile created like that, and the IP address for it stored is 192.168.10.50. Now let us say that on same adapter for some different environment, I need another IP. See, this concept of connection, what I'm trying to show you is good for laptops and desktops. On production environment, on your servers, the role of this connection is not that much important. We never use it on production environment. But let us say that if it is your laptop or desktop, or probably a laptop, which you will be taking from one location to other location. Let us say you want to use it at home. For home, you want a separate networking setup. Let's say when you go to office, you need a separate office setup. Or let us say one time you go to other branch, so for that branch you need other networking support. Or let's say sometimes you go to data center, so for data center you need a different networking setup. So in that scenario, we can go for this different profile or different connection concept. So on the same adapter, if you want, you can create one more profile. For example, I'm going to call it as staging, suppose. And for this, I'll be keeping an IP address 192.168.100.20, something like that. Then let us say that sometimes we might be going to some production environment. So for production environment, I need a different IP, 10.1.1.100, something like that. Or sometimes I'll be going for some other branch. So for that branch, I need a different environment. Or maybe I'll keep an IP address for home, like 192.168.1.10, something like that. So what we can do over here is on a single adapter, we can create multiple profiles. Now, wherever you are, you can simply activate that profile and your adapter will start showing you that IP. For example, guys, let us say I'm at home. So I want to activate home profile. So your adapter will start showing you this IP and it will work with that IP. Let us say I am on data center, so I need that production environment. So I activate that profile. So this profile will be automatically deactivated and this profile will get activated. So your adapter will be showing 10.1.1.100 IP. Now let us say that we need something for staging environment, right? For that, sometime I'll activate that profile. So automatically previous connection will be deactivated and your adapter will start showing you that IP. Or let's say I want to work with my normal IP, so I'll activate my first profile. So automatically the other will be deactivated and first will be activated. Your adapter will show that IP. So what would happen over here is for a single adapter, you can maintain multiple configuration files or profiles. Whichever configuration you activate, your adapter will show that IP. So this multiple configurations, what I'm creating, all these things, they are called as connection. So you can maintain as many connections as you want, but you can only activate one connection at a time. There is no limit how many configuration files you want to create, you can create it. How many connections you want, you can create it. But how many you can use at a time, you can only use one at a time. You cannot use more than one at a time, right? So create as many. It's like you have a mobile phone with you. You can purchase as many covers for it. As many back covers you want, you can purchase it. But how many you can use at a time? You can attach only one at a time, right? So same way here also, you can create as many connections, as many configurations for same adapter you want, but you can use only one. So whenever you are at home, activate home profile. Whenever you are in the data center, activate production profile. Whenever you are at the some other branch, you activate according to that. So in whichever environment you are, according to that, you can create a network setup and keep it. So wherever you are, you can simply activate that particular connection and your adapter will start showing you that IP. So mostly what I have observed is this is good for your laptops kind of thing, where you take your laptop from one location to other, another to next, like that. On production, we don't quickly change the IP addresses like that, right? Production server will be always at the same place, and even if we have to change it, we'll change it not so quickly, right? So on production, I haven't seen much use of this connection, but yes, for your laptops kind of environment, it is a cool feature. Okay, so let us see that how we have to deal with this connections and other concept. Let me first log in into our machine. I have powered on the machine. Okay, so as you can see, let me run ifconfig command. I'll say ifconfig enp0s3, that is my adapter name. The IP address of my adapter is 192.168.10.50. And what is the connection name? etc sysconfig network scripts. You see, the configuration file name is ifcfgenp0s3. So in the present scenario, for my adapter S3, there is only one configuration with the same name. The first connection and first adapter name would be same. Now later on, if you want, you can add as many connections as you want. Let us say I would like to see the connections detail. Total, how many connections are there, right? And which one is active, which one is inactive, all that thing I would like to check it out. So there is a new command line that has been introduced from Red Hat 7 onwards. There was no such command previously in Red Hat 6 or lower version. From Red Hat 7, this command has been introduced. What is the command? NMCLI, Network Manager Command Line Interface. So when I run that, same like ifconfig, it tells you that which adapter is using which connection, what is the model name of that adapter, what is the speed of that adapter, what is the IP address that is assigned. So you see the IP address is 192.168.10.50 slash 24. Slash 24 means what? 255, 255, 255.0. Instead of writing such a big subnet mask, simply here it is mentioned slash 24. That is enough. So we also will be assigning IP address in the same format, IP slash subnet mask. That's it. Okay, fine. Now I would like to see all the connections that are created. I don't know how many connections are created, so I would like to view how many connections are created. To view all the connections, you have a command nmcli. Now this new command line is very user friendly. You don't have to remember the next option. Just press 2 times tab key. Tab. Now you see there are options it is displaying. Agent, connection, device, general, help, monitor, many options it is showing you. So I can go for connection, NMCLI connection. Or if you don't want to go with such a big name, you can just use con. Then I'll use double tap. When I press double tap, you see it is going to show you next options what you can use. Like NMCLI connection, you can add a connection, delete a connection, bring down the connection, deactivate, right? Same way you can modify the connection, you can activate the connection, or you can simply ask to show the connection. So when you say NMCLI con show, it shows you how many connections are available. If the connection is active, it would be showing in green color. If the connection is inactive, not in use, then it is going to show you black color. So basically, there are only two connections that are available, right? So ENP0S3 and virtual BR0. Virtual BR0 is related to your virtualization. Ignore it. Important one is ENP0S3. Let us say, guys, I would like to see detail about that connection, that what is the IP address and other features stored inside it. So I'll say nmcli con show me the detail about a connection ENP0S3. So you see it is going to show you all the features that has been set. Now if I hit enter or just down arrow, it is going to show you all the options that has been set for this particular uh, adapter. Right? IPv4 method manual. This is the IP address that is assigned. No gateway has been given so far. Like that, it is going to work out. Now, let us say that I would like to create a new connection. Okay, there are two connections, that's fine. For same ENP0S3 adapter, I would like to add one more connection. And this connection, I want some IP addresses to be given. All other things I wanted to decide out over here. See, I want to create a connection for ENP0S3 whose name should be mycon, and it should be dedicated for ENP0S3 adapter. And the type of adapter I have to choose over here is Ethernet, normal Ethernet connection I want to create. And I also want the method to be selected as manual. And IP address I want to give is 192.168.10.70. Now please choose that IP which is not already in use. Otherwise you will have IP conflict issues. And the subnet mask have to be given is 24. Let us say that we also have a gateway 10.1. Actually, in present scenario, I don't have any gateway, but just as an example, I'm using it that 192.168.10.1 gateway must be assigned. And also, I want you to decide about auto connect feature. What to do with auto connect. You can select auto connect yes or no. That means automatically, do you want this adapter to get activated during boot? Yes or no? That you have to decide. We'll talk about it. So let me show you first of all how to create a new connection for ENP0S3. It's very simple. You can say NMCLI. I'm again dealing with connection. So I'll go with con, or you can type the full word connection. Then press double tab and you see there is an option here, add. As I want to go for adding, I'll say NMCLI con add. I want to add, sorry, I want to add a new connection, NMCLI con add. Now again, you press double tap. See, every option, it will show you what is the sub option when you press double tap. So when I say con double tap, I found add. When I say double tap now, you see so many options it is giving you. It is giving you auto connect option, what is the name for connection you want, for which interface you are adding it, what type of IP address you want, IP version 4, so you have to say IPv4.address, right? Same way, what is the type of connection you want, IPv4 gateway option it is giving you, many options it is giving us. So let us start by giving connection name. I'll say con name. What name you want to assign or what name you want to give it. I would like to call it my con. I want to call it my con, right? And what is the type of connection you are trying to create? See, when I say type and double tab, lots of option it has given you. That adapter type is what? 99% guys will simply select Ethernet as it is a normal simple Ethernet adapter. So I'll say it is Ethernet. I also want you to select the method of IP addressing. See, when you go with method, right, or let's say IPv4 dot method. Now, when you go for method option, it is giving you many options, automatic, manual, right? These two are important. If you select automatic, then from DHCP, guys, there is a concept called dynamic host configuration protocol. So if DHCP server is there in your environment, then automatic IP will be assigned to this adapter. So if you want your adapter to get IP from DHCP automatically, then the method you must select is auto. But if you want to assign your choice IP address, then select manual. So when you say manual, it gives you chance to assign IP address of your choice. So mostly as you want to give your choice IP, it's better to go with manual. Now, what type of IP address you are planning to assign? See, we yesterday discussed that IP is of two types, IP version 4 and IP version 6. So I'm again going with IPv4. I'll say IPv4 dot addresses. What IP you want? The IP I want is 192.168.10.70/24. I also want to give gateway. So I'll say IPv4 dot gateway. What is the gateway you want? 192.168.10.1. Lastly, I want you to decide about auto connect. See guys, for this particular adapter, I have multiple connection. IFP, CFG, ENP0S3 or staging or production or development or home, whatever it might be. So out of all connection, which connection you want to keep it as your default connection? Which connection you want your laptop or your system or your server to get every time it is booting? So while booting, which connection you want to be automatically active? See, out of all, only one connection you should say auto connect yes. The other connections you should say auto connect no. Only one connection. Suppose I have four connections and all four I have given auto connect as yes. Then during boot, there will be fight, right? who will be assigned. So one time you see when you are booting your system, one time it will get ENP0S3 connection. Second time it may get staging connection. Third time it may get production connection. So like that, what happens every time during boot there will be fight, and one time one IP will be assigned, and on the other time other IP will be assigned. So best is out of all, choose only one as auto connect and rest of them don't choose as auto connect. Yes. So let us say I don't want this connection to be active automatically during boot. So I'll say auto connect no. So understand the command line, guys. nmcli con add. The name of the connection is mycon and the type is Ethernet, and I want to assign manual IP. IP version 4 IP, this is the IP, and subnet mask. Gateway is this, and I don't want this connection to be activate automatically during boot. Let me hit enter. So you see mycon is created. Now if I say nmcli con show, so you see that mycon is appear, but it is appearing in black color as it is not active. And if you go to etc sysconfig network scripts, you'll find out that your new connection is created over here, right? So your connection is created, the profile is created, but it is not active. It is not yet assigned to your adapter. It is in inactive state, just sitting idle, nothing in use. If you see if config enp0s3, your adapter is showing 10.50 IP. If you run nmcli, it says ENP0S3 is connected to ENP0S3 adapter. Now let us say whatever connection I have created, I would like to activate it. Maybe I want to use it now. So how can I activate a connection? See, to activate a connection, I'll go with the command nmcli con up. Which connection? The connection name is mycon. See, you need to understand one thing over here, that right now on your machine on the adapter, your adapter is S3. So as of now, ENP0S3 connection is active. So your adapter will show whatever IP that connection is holding. But what I want to do now, I want to activate mycon. Understand this thing very clearly. The moment you activate mycon, automatically ENP0S3 connection will be deactivated and mycon will activate. Whatever IP you store in mycon, your adapter will start working with that IP. Right? So when you activate one connection, automatically the current active connection will become deactivate. So that you need to understand, that you have to keep in your mind perfectly. Okay? All right. Let me just show you what will happen. One more thing you observe. See, right now I connected through PuTTY using IP 192.168.10.50. So as of now, 10.50 IP might be in use, right? And if you observe 10.70 IP is not in use. 10.50 is pinging, 10.70 is not reachable. The moment I hit enter here, first of all you observe the PuTTY connection is lost because PuTTY was connected using 10.50. When 10.50 IP is no more, the PuTTY connection will be lost. You try anything, PuTTY will not respond. Now if you go back and check it out, observe here 10.50 stop working, and it says that 10.50 IP is now changed to 10.70. It is informing you that the IP of that machine is now changed from 50 to 70, right? And moreover, you see 70 IP address is started to work. So same machine, if you want to work again, then you need to connect with new IP. So you need to type the new IP, which is 192.168.10.70, right? And let me say open. So you see, it is trying to connect with new IP, that is 10.70. Now, if you try it out, if config enp0s3, you see that the IP address that is in use is 10.70. You run nmcli, it says enp-s3 error is now connected to mycon. That means it is now working with your new connection, that is mycon, right? What is the IP address? 10.70/24. So that is the way how your connection is working. ENP0S3 is connected to my connection, and that is the reason your adapter, your system is working within IP 10.70, right? You can also check it out by saying nmcli con show. So you see, mycon is now used for ENP0S3, and ENP0S3 is inactive. It is not in use. Now let us say, guys, I would like to go back to my previous connection. I again want to go back to ENP0S3. What shall I do in this scenario if I want to go back again to ENP0S3? See, normally what people suggest is deactivate mycon and activate ENP0S3, and that is a bad idea. See, on my adapter in my system right now, mycon is active, ENP03 is inactive. If I deactivate mycon also, then total networking will be lost. Suppose you have two keys for your room. One key you have already lost, and the other key you are throwing into river. That means total access to your room is lost because you have wasted your key. So same way over here, mycon is active, its IP is working. ENP0S3 is not active. So already ENP0S3 is deactivated, and you are deactivating mycon also. That means total networking will be lost. Then you have to directly connect to your Red Hat machine and activate the connections manually. What did I told you just moments earlier? That when you activate one connection, already active connection will be automatically deactivated. So we don't have to deactivate a connection in this scenario. So if I want to use ENP0S3, simply I need to say, you see, 10.70 is right now pinging and 10.50 is not working. But when I change it, when I activate it, you see what happens. Let me say nmcli con up. Don't say con down mycon. If you say con down mycon, then total networking will be lost. So if you don't want networking to be lost, the best thing is just activate the connection you want. Automatically, the currently active connection will be deactivated. So I'll say nmcli con up ENP0S3. See, again, I will lose connectivity to PuTTY because PuTTY is connected to 10.70. 10.70 will be deactivated, so automatically the connection will be lost. You see, PuTTY is not working. And if you check the status of pinging, you'll find that it is telling that 10.70 is no more in use. It is now shifted to 10.50. It is informing you, right? Same place, if you just check it out, 10.50, it should start it should start working. So you see 10.50 is started to ping. So this is the way, guys, how we have to work with this connections. Yeah, you should not deactivate it because if you deactivate, then manually total connection will be lost. Yes, it will be automatically deactivated. You are correct. So automatically it is going to get deactivated. So our work will be definitely happen automatically. If you do manually deactivate, already one connection is deactivated, an active connection you are deactivating. Total networking will be lost. So if you don't want that, just activate the other connection and automatically the presently active connection will get deactivated. Okay. Now let us say that I would like to modify the connection. Let me again connect with old IP 10.50 and see will it work or not. Yes, it is working. Now let's say, oh, I'm so sorry. I've given by mistake a wrong name. Okay, there is some question from Ade. Let me respond to it in a moment. Is this connection for creating a new machine, assigning an IP? See, it can be on a new machine you are assigning the IP, or you are changing the IP on an existing machine, whatever you are doing. Suppose let us say that you have already have a machine installed like we have. On the installed machine already there is an IP. Now you are taking your machine to another environment, and in that environment you want to work with some other IP. So what you can do, you can create one more connection and keep it. One connection when you are in office, one connection when you are at home. So when you are at home, activate home related connection to work in home. When you are at office, activate home connection to work with office, like that. So it can be an new machine you want to assign the IP, or it can be an existing machine which is already having an IP, you can do it. So if you want to deal only with one connection, suppose let us say I don't want multiple connection. I only want to deal with one connection. There is no need to create Mycon. Simply you can modify ENP0S3 and you can work. No need to create any existing connection. Whatever connection is there, just make changes in that connection if you don't want. Or if it is a new machine, you can create a new connection for your choice. Now let us say I want to modify some changes in my connection. Let's say I have this connection NMCLI con show my con. Now if you observe, there are many things that are present inside it. Let us say I want to change the IP. Suppose this is my existing connection and I want to change the IP address from it. Instead of 10.70, maybe I want to make the change as 10.75. Moreover, there is one more thing over here I want to change. The option we set last time, what is the option we have set, guys? Auto connect. Just observe here. It says connection dot auto connect is set to no. Now, two things I want to change in my profile. Connection auto connect, I want to change it to yes. And IPv4 dot address, the IP address I want to modify. I want to modify IP address. I want to modify that connection auto connect option. So how can I modify the connection? To modify the existing connection, you can go with NMCLI con modify, or simply in short, you can say con mod. Now, if you don't know what to do next, just press tab, two times tab key. It shows you which adapter you want to modify. You have to choose the name. For example, I'll choose the name ENP0S3, or I want to make the change in Mycon, right? Now double tab and you see all the possible changes that you can make their names. Lots and lots of names it is giving you what you can modify. So I know what to modify. I want to modify an option connection auto connect. See, last time I selected no. Now I want to make it yes. So I'll say change it to yes. And I want to change IPv4 dot addresses. The new IP I want is 192.168.10.75. Don't forget to add subnet mask. You must give /24 mandatorily over here to make sure that it is a class C IP and class C subnet mask is assigned. Now let me hit enter. Go back to nmcli con show my con, and over here observe auto connect. Last time it was no, which is now changed to yes. And if you go little below, you'll find out that IPv4 dot address IP was 192.168.10.75, which is now changed to 10.70, which is now changed to 75. Right? Now let us say that I want to remove this connection. See guys, I have this connection created, my con, which is not in use, right? And where is the profile kept? The profile is kept in network script location. Let us say that I created previously, but now I found out it is useless for me. So I would like to remove the connection. It's done. I don't want to continue, right? So what can I do over here? How can I remove this connection? To remove this connection, guys, you can go with a command nmcli con delete. So it will delete the connection. Or in short, you can mention nmcli con del. Please do not delete the active connection. Green connection, it is in use, so you should not delete it. Unnecessary issues will arise. You can delete inactive connection, which is not in use, which is my con. Now, when I hit enter, just run nmcli con show. Did you see my con is gone? And go to network scripts and check. The file is also deleted. So this is the way, guys, how we have to create a connection, edit a connection, or delete a connection. Now let us say, guys, I don't want to create any new connection. Already there is an adapter and connection assigned. I want to work only with one. I don't want to create multiple connections. Now let us say in my existing connection or right now active connection, I want to make some changes. So if you see NMCLI con show ENP0S3, I have only one adapter, one connection. I don't want any new connection to be created. I'm trying to make changes in my active, currently used connection. So you see lots of options are there. I just want to make one change over here. Observe IP address is there, but gateway is not mentioned. Let us say I want to add gateway option, IPv4.gateway. I want to modify my current connection. So I'll say nmcli con mod. I want to modify ENP0S3. What I want to modify, I want to change IPv4 dot gateway. This option I want to change. What is the gateway you want? 192.168.10.1. Or if it is on a public platform, 8.8.8 will also work. But let us say for our organization use, I have this gateway, right? Now let me say nmcli con show and the adapter name or connection name. So you can see over here now that IPv4 gateway is added. But guys, whenever you make any change in active connection, it is not going to take place immediately. So we added the information and the information is displaying in the connection. But if you run netstat-rn or nr, see this command is used to see how many gateways you are using. You see still it is not displaying any gateway. If you run nmcli con show, and maybe you can grep for IPv4 dot gateway. You see IPv4 gateway, it is displaying 10.1. But when I check netstat, it is telling there is no gateway active. So what happens is in the configuration file, a new line with gateway option added. If you read the file etc sysconfig network script ifcfg, see at the last you will find a new line with the name gateway is added. So configuration is updated, but your network is not really updated. So whenever you make a change in the active connection, what you should do, you should say nmcli con up and the adapter name. Already connection is active. But when you again run this command, it's like refreshing. It will reread the config file, find whatever changes have been done, and it updates itself. So when I say nmcli con up, now you run netstat. Did you see that the gateway started to appear? It started to work? Right. So whenever in the active connection you make any change, just con up the connection. When you do that, it rereads the config and update the changes. Now let us say I want to make same changes, whatever I have done, but little easy way. See guys, previously in Red Hat 6 version, we used to have a wonderful tool called setup tool. Now this was very useful tool. You can run setup command and a TUI box used to appear. TUI stands for text user interface, that works on PuTTY, that works on graphics everywhere. That used to be very user friendly tool. But since Red Hat 7, setup tool is removed completely. There is no setup tool concept from Red Hat 7 or 8. It is permanently deprecated. But instead of setup, they have given us another useful tool, which I personally use a lot, NMTUI, Network Manager Text User Interface. So when I hit enter, you see one box will appear, which will guide you through menus how to deal with your networking. Now, this makes creating a connection, modifying the connection so simple that you don't have to remember the command line. You can simply come to this tool, say edit a connection. So you can edit any existing connection, whatever changes you want, you can make it. Or if you want to add a new connection, just go to add and hit enter. Now, what type of connection you are trying to create? See, lots of options are there. I told you mostly we will go with Ethernet connection. Now, let us say that I want to call this as prod, for example, whatever name you like, you can call it. And for which adapter you are creating it, I'm creating it for the adapter ENP0S3. See, IP address type is selected automatic. That means it will try to get the IP from DHCP automatic. So we don't have any DHCP server to assign automatic IP. I want to give manual IP. Then I'll click on show. See, it gives you option to add IP address, gateway, DNS information, all. So let me hit enter on add and give the IP. Let us say 192.168.10.70/24. So you should never forget to give /24 because there is no separate subnet mask option. You have to give IP/81624, whatever class you are working with. Then the gateway I want to assign is 192.168.10.1. If you want, you can add DNS server information here only. Instead of updating resolve.conf, you can type it here only. But I don't have any DNS so far, so I'm ignoring it and I'm going below. And there is an option here, automatically connect. Automatically connect is same auto connect option. Do you want this connection to get active automatically during boot? Maybe right now I don't need this feature. So use space bar to unselect it. See, it's not a Google gateway, it is your personal organizational gateway for your organization use. It is not a Google gateway, right? And don't worry, you can ask any question, nothing is senseless, right? Fine. So I'm going to use a space bar over here and unselect it. I don't want auto connect option to be there. To select spacebar, to unselect spacebar. I'm unselecting it and let me say OK. Now let me go for back, quit, and now you run nmcli on show. Did you see your connection created? So all that command line, what we have learned and tried, I made it so simple by working with that tool. And where is this connection created? All these connections are kept in network scripts location. So you can see ifcfg prod file is also created. Same way, if you want to activate or deactivate a connection, you can say nmtui, and there is an option activate a connection. Thank you. So when I go for activate a connection, in this connection, you see the one which one is already active. ENP0S3 is active, so it is showing you star mark. That means it is active. And here the option you can see it is showing deactive. And the connection which is not active, you see here it is giving you an option to activate. So if I want to activate prod, I'll select prod and I will hit enter on activate. See, I don't want to activate it because again connection lost will be there. New putty session I have to take. I want to avoid it. So I just showed you how to make a change. Now let us say that I would like to modify a connection. Let's say nmcli conshow prod. Now in this connection, I want to change auto connect option from no to yes. It was set to no. I want to make it yes. Same way, if I go below, you see IPv4 address 70. Maybe I want to change it to 75. Two changes I want to bring in my connection. So what I'll do, I'll go with nmtui, edit a connection, select the connection that you want to edit, then go and hit enter on edit. You see it is showing you the options. Simply come below and modify whatever you want to modify. Suppose I want to change it to 75, first change. And then I'll go below and let me make change in automatically connect. Let me use a space bar to select automatically connect. Let me say OK. Let us say back and let us say quit. Now if you go with nmcli conshow prod, you'll find out that auto connect is changed to yes. And if you go a little below, you'll find that the IP address is changed to 10.75, right? So it's so simple to manage networking with this tool nmtui. Let us say that I want to delete the connection. My work is over. I don't want to use it anymore. So I'll go to edit connection, select the connection and say delete. So when you click on delete and say delete, the connection is deleted. So how simple was that? Even if you want, you can change the host name of your computer by setting system host name. Whatever name you want, the name will be changed and it would be permanent. I don't want to modify it. If you want, you can try it out, but the name is changed and it would be updated. So this tool makes the life of a system administrator simple. Instead of remembering the command line, you can do it with this tool. But still, I recommend you to please go through with command line also. Because if you are trying to automate your work, you need to write a script. When you write a script, you have to write commands. TUI may not be helpful when you write a script to automate something. So you should be aware of command line. But while working on production, it does not matter. You work with command line or you work with TUI tool. Now, some people tells that using TUI tool, is it a good practice or not, or is it recommended or not? See, if it is not good or if it is not recommended, why would they have made such an option? See, sometimes remembering command will be little complicated. Going in TUI tool, navigating with arrows and working will make your work faster, right? So there is nothing good or bad. It depends on you how you want to work. You like command line, you work with command line. You want to work with TUI, that's perfectly all right. So do not put that pressure on you that we have to always work on command line or this TUI tool. Remembering command line is a great thing. If you can remember, best. If you are not able to remember, go with TUI. There is a help available, why not to take it, right? Fine. Okay. Now, last few things what I want to show you over here is how can you check the detail about your network adapter. To check the details about your network adapter, there is a tool called ETH tool and the adapter name. So this will tell you what is your adapter important features. Like over here, you can see what is the speed of your adapter. That means your adapter can take 1000 Mbps per second speed. That is the limit of your adapter. And the duplex it is working right now is full. See, there are two types of duplexes, full duplex or half duplex. If full duplex is selected, that means two-way communication is going on, sending the packets and receiving the packets, which is ideally correct. Suppose if the duplex is showing half, that means it is only sending the packets but not receiving the packets, right? So that would be not good situation. Our adapters should always be working with full duplex, sending information, receiving information, both should be there, right? And the type of port we are working is twisted pair, the cable type, something like that. And you see link is working or not. It is showing yes. Link is working means what? Link is working means right now this adapter is up, it is in use, right? Cable is connected kind of thing. Now, same information if you want to see in a summarized way, then you can say MII tool and the adapter name. This will just give you simple small information. So you see it says that 1000 Mbps is the capacity, full duplex is there, and link is okay, right? Now that's the way you can find it out. Now other way to check the detail about your devices is NMCLI dev show and your adapter name. Now this will also give you information about your adapter, but probably it may not give you speed, duplex and all, right? It is showing you that device name is this, type is this is the MAC ID, something like that. But you see it is not displaying what is the speed, full duplex is there or not. That we can find it out by ETH tool or MII tool, right? So that is it guys for today's class. Right, this is something what you should practice. Now, if you know how to work with NMCLI or TUI, whether it is a new machine or existing machine, you can simply create connections, modify connections, or whatever you want to do with your networking, you can do it. If you have any more questions, any more doubts, guys, you can put your questions now. I'll be answering your questions now. Just don't take the pressure that TUI is good or not for Linux administrator. something like that. There is nothing like that. People use us a lot on production. Many people prefer working with TUI only as it is simple. Yeah, changing IP or modifying something, definitely you will come across, but connection creation, that I doubt. Because what happens, production environment, we don't really use multiple connection. Production server is there. Do you think I'll move server from one data center to other, or I'll take server to home or other offices? So on production, making multiple connections, I have not seen, right? But yes, it is good for your laptop because which will be going and coming from office to home or different location. Connection creation may not be useful that much, but modifying, making changes, definitely it would be useful. No, 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 no. See, you should never reboot, never ever reboot. If you create an IP, change network config, just up the connection where you make the changes. Suppose I have to make a change. I'll go with NMTUI. I'll go in edit. I'll go in ENP0S3. I make some changes here. Now, once you make the changes, you don't have to reboot the machine. After you make the change, just say NMCLI con up and make the change. That's it. You should never reboot the machine. If you reboot the machine, then there will be a big problem. Okay. Yeah, you can just use power off command. Power off command you can use for shut down your machine, or you can say shut down now. That will also do the trick for you. So you can say just power off or shut down now. Anything, both will shut down your system. Or to reboot, you have to say reboot. That's it. Init 0 was the command in Red Hat 6 onwards, Red Hat 6, Red Hat 5. Now, why that command change also we will learn in our next class when we go with booting procedure. Very important class. I'll tell you there why init command has been changed with other thing. Production environment, we will always use both protocol as static. But when you are visiting office, home, we have our Wi-Fi modems that automatically give IP. So in that scenario, uh, DHCP automatic will be used, but on production environment, always static IP. No DHCP on production. Why would you use VI editor? See, when you do editing manually, you can do that, but when you edit it manually, there is always a chance that we may do mistake. When you are doing with command line, automatically it is editing the file behind the scene. Avoid using VI editor on the config file. Always use command line or TUI to have perfect changes. Suppose if I try to edit it, etc sysconfig network script and the file name. Now if any of the thing, if I make spelling mistake, it is going to have issues, right? So always prefer going with the command line or TUI. That makes the change safe, error free. Great. Okay, guys, I think we are good to stop the session now. So we'll stop the session tomorrow, day after tomorrow. There are no classes. So next 2 days, try to do all the practicals, brush up your previous topics. And anywhere, if you're having the questions, keep that questions and let me know. I'll try to answer them. So we'll stop the session here, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Let's meet up 2 days after. Thank you. Thank you, Durga. Same to you. Let's meet up 2 days.